This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass.
Oh, wow.
And all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
Okay, so pretty straightforward area so far. Was that a side quest I see? Get cart. Could take the chocobo out. Nah, we'll just walk. We'll just walk. New area, explore on foot, you know. It's over. Actually, you know what? While I remember, let's maybe upgrade something from here, shall we? Maybe upgrade, because I can upgrade something. Don't want to upgrade Flames of Rebirth. So these just let me like, no, not that. I think these just let me like hit more, right? So deets upgrade, increases range and number of hits. I think the Flames of Rebirth, right? I think that makes sense. Like, what does this do again? When I upgrade it? It's just increased. Yeah. Yeah, I'll upgrade Flames of Rebirth. I think that works. Okay, what troubles you?
So what do you think?
That we'd be lucky to make it out alive.
Really? It's as bad as that?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead. And too much of it for us to handle.
Yeah, not nearly enough for me.
There's danger on the road.
I'll gladly handle it. For a price, of course. And some renown.
What about this fearsome-looking fellow? You think he'd be equal to the task?
Oh, no doubt. Assuming he's willing to hear us out.
Try me.
Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding a merchant's missing cart. You seen it by any chance?
How does a merchant misplace his cart?
I too am wondering
The
that.
man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he ran, leaving his livelihood abandoned in the pass.
He sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation, the bastards are lying in wait just down the road.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly brave an ambush.
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Will you help us out?
Yeah, for a couple of
They'll come for
sellswords.
you either way.
They're not really selling their swords that well.
Promise to lend us a hand. At least you'll pocket a reward for your troubles.
Or at least, you know, based on what I can tell, you know. They're not really doing a very good job of it. Yeah, based on what I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably not, though. I'm probably
Well,
right.
if I'm going to have to deal with them anyway.
I'm probably
You've
correct.
clearly got a fine head on those broad shoulders.
We're lucky you came along. Now, hoping to make a heavy purse in Bocklad, our merchant friend loaded his cart with as much as it would carry. Reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods. So, while you're seeing to those bandits, you keep your eyes open.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Just don't expect me to drag the cart out of there myself.
No. You can leave the cart to us.
I was gonna say, I ain't no
Put an end
mover.
to those bandits and point us in the right direction. You do that, we'll take care of the rest.
Well, it should be easy enough. It's a unless
Sure,
it's a
I trust
trap.
those two.
It might be.
But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take it.
Look lively, you lot. We've got guests.
These must be our bandits. Nice try.
There you go.
Slow.
Desert Gin, huh? Oh, come on. I was gonna say I did it too early. There we go. Okay, okay, you can do that if you want. Okay, let's go ahead and just get some health back. Okay, let's see how this looks now. Oh, nice. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. New enemies approach, you say? Alright, finish this guy off. Man, these desert raiders have no idea, do they?
Enough.
Yeah, they didn't stand a single chance.
That's them dealt with. Now,
Where's the cart?
where's that cart?
So I just said. I mean, I guess it could be down further this way. Maybe? Oh yeah, right here. Ah, it's a bunch of like veg and fruit. I mean, some of it's missing, I guess. Some of the
Getting all this
lettuce.
out of here will be a nightmare.
Seems we found ourselves the right man for the job, wouldn't you say?
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing. Our merchant friend will be delighted.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out of here?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior haul cabbages to market.
There's something really suspicious
You've
about
done
these
your
two.
part, and that's all you need to worry about.
I don't know why. It's like they seem nice enough, but there's something about how they're talking that's making me go, I don't know, there's something going on.
Now piss off.
There's no need to be so rude, brother.
It might also be that.
What if we want his help again next time?
See, there's something really sus about that.
You've had your rewards and you're not getting any more. Now piss off. You've had your rewards and you're not getting any more. Now piss off.
Yeah, alright, I'll go. I'll go. I don't need anything else from you anyway.
I see the Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
A little bit.
Fallen ruin should hold at least.
Oh, this is connected to... Yeah, down there. I guess that makes sense.
The path continues on the other side.
Ah, well, look at this. Have ourselves some enemies. To be expected, I suppose. I kind of blew that a little bit. I blew that a smidge. Okay, wait, hold on. I want to go the other path. That was here. Is this it? Yeah, I guess it is. Boop. Hello there. Thank you very much for the follow. Give me 1 second. If I say your name incorrectly, by the way, please feel free to let me know. Camilla Hudson 9. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing today? And welcome to the stream, friendo. How you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Doing quite well. Just enjoying me some good old Final Fantasy 16. Having a grand old time. Then mostly did a lot of side questing, which is fun, mind you. But same time, you know, you do 2 hours of side questing. Yeah, you want to do a little bit of the main story as well, right? So Litany's Horde. It's up this way. Oh, we can get like a beautiful view too. You doing good today? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for asking. Oh, you're very welcome. I always like to know how people are doing whenever they come around. Final Fantasy is your favorite franchise? Actually, no. I haven't really played that many Final Fantasy games, believe it or not. I've played 7, 10, a bit of 8, and well now 16 and 14. I mean, I've played a fair few, but I don't know if I'd really say it's my favorite franchise though. I'm not too sure what would be, if I'm being honest with you. What would be your favorite franchise? Because yeah, I'm not too sure what mine would be. Like maybe, let me think. Maybe Resident Evil, but see, even then I haven't played like many of the newer ones though. So I don't even know if I could be really fair on that one. Because even with Resident Evil, my knowledge about Resident Evil stops after 5. So having not played like a lot of the other newer games came out, could I really say it's my favorite franchise? Camilla says it would be Resident Evil. Ah, that's good. Okay, see, you and I same wavelength, right? Resident Evil would be up there for me for sure. Oh wow, we found the Niagara Falls of this world. I see. The final sin. Okay, well.
So this is Zemeckis.
Not as good of a name as, or nice of a name as Niagara, but.
It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
Time to go scuba diving.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned.
I mean, that's true.
Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men.
I mean, those are pretty cool.
Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Nah, the memories. You can see they're flooding back into him.
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
Yeah, you can even see all the traders down there too.
About us.
With their chocobos.
Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Concerning Oh, what's this? Meanwhile, seat of the Imperial Court. Audience chamber, Imperial Palace. All right. A lot of stuff's gonna be going down here.
Father, you have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have.
Look at him just vibing there.
Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sambrec.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age,
Father, please.
or for as long as I am able.
Yeah, look at him
The
vibe,
empire
just like
we
in his
seek
middle
to
seat.
build needs young blood to rule it, and I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
I'm gonna try and take over everything, huh?
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
Yeah, he's
They
kind
are
of
the
bit
words of a god.
okay. He's got a bit of a complex now,
The
huh?
Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Greeker, made flesh.
Ow. That probably hurt a little bit. Ah, making him kneel, of course. It's kind of like one of those little toys you have as a kid, you know, like one of those little swords that like pop out when you do a little swing.
Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sambrec.
Father. I find you much changed.
That's because of Annabella whispering into his ear.
Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another?
Or that.
Of Ultima, perhaps?
Could be Ultima.
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable.
That's a very good point.
Prince
You
Dion.
couldn't really trust her anymore, could
I
you?
trust you will continue to serve your emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, your radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring. I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Yeah, I kind of wonder
Does it pain
if
you
part
that
of
you will not
this
inherit your father's throne?
is because Dion is gay. And I'm only saying that because, like, obviously in a kingdom, especially in a kingdom with this kind of style
Count
of, like,
your
medieval
blessings, Dion. For a
technology,
firstborn child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough.
you kind of
have
want
risen
someone to be able to
high on
carry
his
on the
wings,
lineage,
but you
right?
shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
Or maybe it is just her whispering, just going like, oh, she has a dominant in, or he has a dominant in him. He has an icon. Can't trust him, or that kind of stuff, right? Like I could see that too. Well, there you go then. That was a good cutscene, actually.
We just need to hug the coast.
I think it was a good cutscene. Can I ask you something? Actually, I do art for gamers. Nah, not interested. And please don't bring that up any further. That is breaking my rules, and I would rather that not be spoken of. So please don't bring it up again, lest I will have to ban, which I would rather not do, of course.
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside.
I mean, that's definitely true.
Well trained and increasingly battle hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end.
So let's see then. So that's the Republican Gate. I mean, we'll go there and just see. We'll check it out. But not like we'll be really going anywhere down that way. At least not much. Talk to me, traveling merchant.
Headed over to the Crystalline Dominion too, are you? There's good gil to be made there. Believe you me. Yeah. The minute I heard them bandits had blown up Drake's Fang, I packed up me store and pulled me boots on. And so did you, eh? I did have a plan to make a fortune with some baths down by the Dollar Mill Inn. How can anybody sit back and relax in a land that ain't got a whiff of the crystal's blessing no more? And that's when it hit me. If you're looking for lucre, the Dominion's the place to be. Soon enough, half a storm will be headed there. If I can get in first and set up shop, I'll have a license to mint gil. The guildmasters at Canver will be beggars by comparison. I'll be famous in all four quarters of Storm soon enough, and I'll have a fortune that'll make me ma and pa proud.
Okay, that was a cool story, my merchant bro. I want to have a look at this a little bit more, because look at it. Oh, suspected scam call. Man, scams all over the place. Scams on my phone. Some scams in my Twitch chat. Right? I tell you, they're all over the place. Never changing. Look at this, though. It's very pretty, although I'm noticing something really interesting. I wonder if that's like for some kind of effect. Notice on the edges here. I didn't notice it until like looking at here, right? But like, look at this, right? You have kind of a blurring on the edge. So like if you look up here, for example, there's like a bit of an edge blur, right? At least it kind of looks like that to me. But when you move the camera, there's like a little bit, it kind of does stuff. I wonder why. That's interesting. It's really interesting. I wonder if that's, and just a little bit of an edge blur that just kind of moves along with the camera. Can you see that anywhere else? No, not really. Not really. It's like kind of exclusive to here. Maybe it's because of the reflection. It looks like it has to do with the reflection. And it's really noticeable if you move it really quick. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if that's some kind of like hardware thing. Because this does look absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So I wouldn't be surprised if this took a lot of power to actually get going. All right. Moving on then. See if there's anything over here first. Probably not, but worth a check. Yep, nothing. As expected. I do want to check up here too. Maybe we'll do that first. Then we'll head over to the actual gate itself. Because I think that would be... Is that up here? Is it? No, it's not. It's just this way. Just straight this way. All right. Oops. I mean, no chest, but I mean, like, we got gil. We got 10 gil. Not gonna say no.
They've closed the road to Randalar.
If the siege breaks, they'll need more than this to stop the Imperial legions marching on the capital.
Oh, I'm done for.
If you haven't got a pass, you're not getting through.
Please, I'm begging you.
That seems like a relatively small gate. It's just like a door. Huh. Interesting. You think the gate would be a little bit bigger, but I suppose not. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Is there any other cool place I want to check out? I mean, I want to check out up here for sure. So we'll go ahead and we'll set down a marker. See, I like how alive this feels, right? Hey, Cooney, welcome back to the stream, friendo. How you doing today? Cooney says, are the stories of the new FF games good? I stopped playing after they released the first online version. After they released like 11? I mean, that's fair. To answer your question, personally, so Cooney, so if the last one you played would have been Final Fantasy 11, I can't really say much because I haven't really played many of them. I've heard 15 is hit or miss. I've heard 13 hit or miss. I've heard like 14 is really good. I will sell out. I will shill 14 every single day of the week. If anybody ever asks me about like a Final Fantasy game, I love Final Fantasy 14. Play it. It's free now. You have no reason not to give it a shot. It's such a good story and such a good game. I will always recommend Final Fantasy 14 to people.
Much further to Baghdad now.
Especially if you want a good story. And then if you're willing to pay a subscription and get the expansions and stuff, then it's really good. It is free on PC. I don't think, now I could be wrong, I don't think you need to pay for the game. I know you don't need to pay a subscription fee, and you get like the first 3, like you get the first 2 expansions plus the base game. And the only limitations are you can't use the market board. And I think that's like the only limitation, but that's not really a big deal. Unless you feel like being lazy and want to buy your equipment, then it's a bigger deal. But it shouldn't really be a big deal. But Final Fantasy 14 is really good. Like I will literally, I'm not even kidding either. Every single time, because you know what, Cooney, this has actually been brought up a few times too, where people are like, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? And or like stuff about the Final Fantasy story, and I will talk people's ear off about how good Final Fantasy 14 is. Right. Now, of course, that's an MMO. So if you're not too keen into MMOs, then you might not like it. But even then, I'm pretty sure you can play the game mostly single player now. I'm pretty sure. An ancient sword, huh? I mean, it's not as good. A marked lack of weapons left from the Age of the Fallen could either suggest theirs was a society in which peace prevailed, or one in which those in power were unable to be contested. Those few weapons that do remain are found to be extremely lightweight and nigh indestructible, but unfortunately impossible to duplicate in modern-day forges, much like Dalmatian steel. Dalmatian? Dalmatian. I hope. Fuck. I'm thinking. I'm getting too into the game now. I'm thinking of Dalmatian steel. No, it's like Dalmatian steel or whatever. Dalmatian. Fuck, I don't remember. But yeah, so if you're not really too into like MMOs, you might not like 14 that much. But I'm pretty sure you can play a lot of the instances, mostly single player now. You might need to do some online like parties. You might have to do online parties like for some of the stuff, like for some of the bigger stuff. But I'm pretty sure even with the smaller stuff, like with a lot of smaller dungeon instances, I think you can play single player if you want. Because I believe you get the base game and you get Heaven's Word and you get was it Stormblood for free now? And you get all of it. Like it's all like all the content's there, right? Like it's literally all there, which I really appreciate. And you don't gotta pay like any subscription fee until you want to progress past that. But that's like crap, hundreds of hours that would probably, well, maybe not hundreds, depends on what you do, but could easily get you hundreds of hours if you so wanted it, right? Of just that, and the stories are really good. Let's see, Cooney says, I love the single player games because they're focused on the story, but I do play MMOs from time to time. Well, Cooney, let me tell you a bit about Final Fantasy 14 here. It's an MMO, but it's all focused on the story. Like, it's literally just a story-focused MMO. And, like, that's probably what I like the most about it. In fact, everybody that I've played the game with when I was starting out, I literally just said, don't ever skip the story. Because if you're like me and you played World of Warcraft, this is how I played World of Warcraft. All right? And this is how a lot of people I knew play World of Warcraft. Is you would go up to a quest thing. You maybe would like skim the dialogue box and then you just accept, or you just skip the dialogue box, like the quest dialogue, and then just like hit accept, and then you'd do it, and you just like skip things, right? But with Final Fantasy 14, like they have proper cutscenes, good voice acting, good story. It's so good. Like legitimately, if it weren't for the story of 14, like the game itself is really good, but the story of 14, I feel, is what sets itself apart from really any other MMO that I've played, at least. I haven't played many, but the ones I've played, I really, really like. 14 has a story that just blows pretty much most other MMO stories out the water. Like, it's such a good story. It's such a good story, which is why eventually I want to play it on stream. That's going to be a long time coming, but I really want to play Final Fantasy 14 on stream one day, so we can all experience the story together, because I really, really want people to experience it. And I want to be able to play it and maybe encourage others to pick up and play it themselves. Because, man, it's an adventure, let me tell you. Like, I've had so many emotions when playing through the Final Fantasy 14 storyline that it's actually insane. One of the best stories I think I've experienced in an MMO, and even in a lot of single player games. Like, holy crap. See, you can tell I like it because I keep going on about it, right? Give it a try, Cooney. If you play it, let me know. And if we're able to, like, hell, even if I got to make a new character to play with you and help you out, like, I'll do it. Right? I don't mind doing that if you want. Hey, Dargontra, welcome back to the stream, friendo. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Pleasure to see you around as always. Yeah, we're just playing some Final Fantasy 16 and talking a bit about 14, as I am wont to do whenever the discussion can ever be led back to 14. I will talk about it constantly. Because, yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but I really, really like Final Fantasy 14. I'm actually finally caught up. So for anybody that's been like coming here very regularly, you'll often hear me say like, oh, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14, but I haven't caught up to patch content yet. Well, guess who's finally caught up to patch content? This guy right here. And I've enjoyed every step of the way. Now I'm doing raid content, but, I finally got caught up in patch content, which is very, very nice. And I'm very happy about. The Gontra says, I'm doing good. Just about to get into some FF13 too. Very nice. It's going to be very fun, I bet. It's going to be really fun, I bet. I need to play 13 and 13-2 one of these days myself. I really should. I really should. How you liking FF16? See, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm a part of the group that really likes the game. I know it still is pretty controversial among the fans, but I like 16. I like 16 a lot. In fact, we even got into a discussion with my local game shop employee. My local retro game shop employee. Just kind of talking about how some games you see reviews and it's like, oh, people say it's not super great, but then you play it and like you really enjoy it. That's kind of me in 16. Not that I heard bad stuff, I just heard mixed. Really liked it. I played it before I started the FF13 series. Good. See, I'm glad you like it too, right? I don't know. See, it's weird. I'm not really too sure where people stand on 16 most of the time. Because mostly I've heard like people, what is it? People, mostly in the Final Fantasy like community, there are some people that don't really like 16. I don't know. I think it's too different for some people, but I like it. I like it. Mr. Spamalot. Oh boy, Cooney, you changed your name, or is that just a separate account? Not sure if we can play together though, since I'm from Germany. Cooney here. There's always those critics. There are always those critics, right? Like, I like it. I think I've said this before. I'll say it again. I'll probably say it at the end of the game as well. I'll probably say this a lot. I think if people have an issue with 16, it is because it's different, and it is because the story is a lot darker. Because it is. It's a much more mature take on Final Fantasy, right? Like, I think we can all kind of agree about that. It's a much more mature take on the game series. But I think that's good. I think it revitalizes it a bit, and I think that changes the game enough to make people who were maybe getting a bit tired of the old Final Fantasy formula kind of back into it. But I think that's, if anybody has any issues with it, I think that's it, right? It's more dark, it's more mature, and it's not your grandpa's, it's not your daddy's Final Fantasy, you know, like, to use that phrase. And I don't blame them for not liking it because of that, but I do personally, right? I think it's good to see mature takes on certain types of stories, right? To have like characters, and once again, this isn't like something I need in something. Like, I don't need characters to swear, but even just hearing a character in the game go like "fuck," it's like there's something about that actually makes it seem more like real to me in that regard. Because, yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything in like Final Fantasy X, because I do want to play through that on stream or on recording at some point, and I love that game. But like having like the characters are too common in that game sometimes, right? Like in the story. But, you know, like, you see a giant creature coming to try and kill you. Yeah, I feel like most people exclaim like, "Oh, fuck," right? Like, before you gotta go fight it, like, if you're able to. You know, I think it's good. I think it's good to have a more mature take on the game series. I'm not saying every game should be like this, but I think it's a good divergence. You know, like, I think it's good. And I've always liked darker, more mature stories. So maybe I'm kind of one of the odd ones out too. But, you know, I've always liked a more dark and mature kind of story. Cooney says I'm just using a different account on my phone. Perfectly fair. So to answer the thing that you kind of said earlier about how not sure if we can play together since I'm from Germany. I mean, I'll make a European account. I don't have a problem making a character on a European server. I could do that. Like, that's fine by me. Because I don't think latency would be much of an issue in an MMO. I think it'd be okay.
And they're all making for the crystalline dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the crystal's blessing.
But I mean, even if we don't play together, I would love to hear your experiences about the game. So like I said, I will talk up 14. And that, of course, means I also like hearing people's opinions and thoughts on 14. I don't know. It's a good game series. And you know, I'm not gonna like spoil anything either, mind you. For 14. I would never spoil 14, but I will say I feel like the kind of more dark and mature tones for this Final Fantasy kind of came from 14. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are aspects of 14 that are a lot more dark and mature than other Final Fantasies, which became a big talking point between me and my friends when we got to certain bits of the game. Because you just don't expect it, right? Ah, rats. Enough to make babies.
This is where
hey,
we're supposed
child.
to meet Goots, isn't it?
Oh, no.
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his supplies. I dare say he'll have finished by now.
There's something about the way that child is either standing or sitting that's kind of putting me off. It's putting me off a little bit. The site says it costs monthly. It won't. Hold on. Let me actually pause the game really quick and do a Google. It shouldn't cost you monthly because they should have the free trial. Let me see. Like, it'll cost you monthly, like, whenever you choose to just, like, pay it. But you can play the free trial, and it should be... It should be free. Let me see here. Because, like, I have a friend that's, I have a friend that played... Like, that's literally just playing through the game on the free trial. Without the intention of paying so far. Although that might change whenever he catches up to where the game ends for him. Let me just... Oops. I'm just using free trial being a contract that goes over into a subscription. If Final Fantasy 14 is from what I remember, how I remember they're doing their free trials. It's you do the free trial and then just you can play the base game, you can play the first expansion, the second expansion soon, I think. I don't know if the second expansion is free yet, but it's getting there. So I'm saying like 30-day free trial. Hold on, let me see. Free. I just want to make sure I'm not like giving false information. The entirety of the base game, A Realm Reborn, and the first expansion Heavenward free. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure how you go about that on the website. I've not had to. I wouldn't pick it up through Steam. I think Steam they do try to force it. But if you just make an account through the free trial for FF14, which would be here, I believe, you should be able to make an account. And let's say I don't know if you need to buy the game. I don't know if you need to buy like the game itself. I don't think you do. But if you make a free trial account and like say, you should just be able to play it. See, I feel like level 60, is that correct? I think that's correct. But yeah, that should allow you to play through like the majority of, well, through all the base game in the first expansion at least. So you can play through most of the game through just the free trial alone. They don't make it really easy to actually notice that though. Because hold on, let me see here. Because if I go through here and if I click on free trial, I'm just kind of curious like what it tells you. Sign in with Square Enix account, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, I think you should be good if you go through that. If you go through that link. And if it gives you any trouble, let me know, because like I said, I will help you figure it out if it does give you trouble. But once again, I don't like truly know like how confusing the wording is for it, just because I haven't ever had a free trial account myself. But if you do it, it should unlock everything for you. Because even see, where is it? Oh, here's a guide right here too. If you just want to look at the guide, it's on Game Rant, or the Gamer. It's on the Gamer. I don't know why it's saying newsletter pop-up, but sure, why not? You can also go through that. That's how to play the free trial version. Just in case it actually does give you some weird wording and you don't know quite what to do. Ignore the update, by the way, that they put for February. I think that was when they were having like congestion issues, but that's all sorted now. Yeah, and like they even have a list here for like the restrictions, which like honestly isn't bad. I even think they changed some of these too, because I think as a free trial player, I think you can add friends to a friends list now. I guess they couldn't let you before, but I'm pretty sure you can now, because I think I have my free trial friends on my friends list. I like how they even have a thing. See, even they try to shill it, because they even have a thing here going, why you should try the Final Fantasy 14 free trial. Yeah, and it's not like restricted by days or anything either. It's literally just you play through the game, right? Like it's not like, oh, you have 30 days. It's like, well, no, just just play at your own leisure. You can't use certain things, but yeah, it's all at no cost too, apparently. And to shill it even more, if you decide, hey, I just want to play the game on a controller, right? Well, guess what? You can do that. It's actually really comfy too, from what I've heard. I've not played Final Fantasy 14 on the controller myself. Just because I never really felt like I needed or wanted to. But I have like a few friends that play on PC, and they hook up their PlayStation controller to it, and they just play it, and they say it's the most comfy experience ever, because everything works perfectly. Like the buttons are mapped like so well, apparently, for a controller, which really impresses me. See, Cooney says, I'll look into it whenever I have any free time. Yeah, look into it whenever you want. Like I said, they're going to be adding the next expansion to the list of free stuff, so you can just play even longer for free if you wanted to. I barely get to play anything with 2 kids. Yeah, having kids would make it really difficult for sure. For sure. I'm sorry, by the way, if it seems like I'm really trying to push 14 on you, by the way. It's just such a good game that I don't think a lot of people experience. Either because they don't know that it's literally free. To a certain point. Like I said, when you get to the second expansion, I think then if you want to play past that, you'll have to pay. But at the same time, it's a lot of content. You'll be in there for a long time. The restrictions are kind of harsh. Let me have a little look-see. Because I'm curious. I mean, I don't know how much of this is actually like true anymore. Like a year on in, like I'm pretty sure. I think certain types of communication are still restricted. I'm pretty sure you can add friends now. Guild restrictions, that doesn't really matter too much. Like the 300k gil max could be hard depending on the prices in the game. 200,000 gil isn't really that bad, to be honest. And like, I don't think, and you can't use the market board anyway, so you can't really partake in the economy with other players. Which is fine. Like that's honestly not really a big deal at all. You don't need the market board. Hell, I don't use the market board for any equipment either, because you don't really need it. You can get all your equipment just by running dungeons and just getting loot, really. So 300,000 gil is really, that's more than enough, to be honest. Because you're not really going to be spending it on much in the game. Not really. If anything, you'll probably try to find a way to lower your gil. It's probably harder to find like what to spend your gil on. Apart from like travel. Like travel would probably be the only thing you'd really spend your gil on, but even then that's pretty cheap still. Like all the base classes, like that's just restricted via stuff that happens in story. Oh, and only the races from Realm Reborn. That's a lot of races still. Like I think you're missing out on, well, it says Aura, Viera, and Hrothgar, but like yeah, you don't really, like, that's whatever. And you can always change your character later too. Like that's really easy to do. Yeah, so some of these may sound harsh. They're really not, though. Like, not really. Like, the harshest thing that I would say is probably a part of this would be, nope, not that tab. Like, the harshest restriction I see on here would probably be like not being able to use yell, shout, or tell. But I mean, even then, I barely even use that. I don't even, to be honest. Like maybe the market board, but like I said, you can get all your equipment for free just by running dungeons. Basically, Cooney, what I'm trying to say is they may sound harsh, but they're really not. Because I had a couple other friends say that too. They're like 300,000 gil, man. But it's like I said, so I understand. Like, so I had another friend bring that up, but you don't really spend your gil on much. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I say, when you get free time, give it a shot. It's really good. It's really, really good. And enjoy the story if you do. Like, that's something that I for sure want to emphasize. Whenever you play Final Fantasy XIV, first off, tell me about it. Tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts as you play. But more importantly, just sit back, enjoy the story, watch the cutscenes play, interact with the characters, and, you know, just enjoy your time in Eorzea, right?
Enough of your whining.
Now, anyway, like I was saying before, right? Because I should probably finish what I was actually saying. This kid is kind of disturbing me a little bit. I guess she's on her knees, or he's on her knees. But like, I don't know, there's something about the way that it looks that's kind of putting me off, right? I think it's how the dress looks. And where you can imagine the legs being positioned, I guess.
That's that then.
So we have a proper refugee camp. Let's see. Do we have anything over here? Seems not. So I physically got to stop myself from talking about 14. Because even now I'm thinking like, oh, I could say so much more. I could say so much more about the game. But I literally need to stop myself. I literally just need to not, so I can actually like, Of course, if you have any questions, like, feel free to ask. Like, I'm not gonna say don't ask questions, but like, for me, like, I need to stop myself from just rambling on about 14, lest I go on for hours more, trying to sell the game to more people. Like, not literally sell, but you know what I mean. Like, get them to play it so they too can experience it. And the community is really nice as well. That's probably the other thing I'll say about it. The final thing I'll say about it. Has a really nice community.
Bloody crimson caravans, scooping up all the best customers.
Of course, not for everybody. I've heard experiences of some people having issue with the community, but every interaction with the community that I've had has been really, really solid and really, really nice. You want something moving? Then Aldrich is your man. He's never lost a load, and he's a third of the price of the Crimson Caravans. Don't bother with the best. Don't bother with the best. Put Aldrich to the test.
Leave some for the rest of us.
You, Aldrich. I guess he is. Hey, Skater. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing today, friendo? We're just having a bit of a discussion on Final Fantasy XIV. Which I should probably stop talking about unless people have questions. Because I legitimately could go on forever. Okay, hold on. So it's the Crimson Caravans.
I wish to engage the Crimson Caravan services.
Oh, battery low.
Where's the proprietress?
She's otherwise engaged at present, my lord. Come back later.
Hold on, I think this is the cable I use for that. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's tangled. As cables do, they get all tangled. Come on. Gotta love FF games. You gotta love FF games. They're really, really good. Yeah, Skater, I forget. Did I ever ask you if you played many Final Fantasies? Okay, guess what? It is not this one. My bad. Well, I unplugged that one for no reason. So I guess that one can just sit on the floor for now until I'm done with the stream. Here's the other one. Sorry about the delay. I just don't want the controller dying on me, because if it dies on me during a boss fight, well, that's not going to end too well. For me. Where is that port? Is this it? There we go. One day when I'm 90, I'll sit down and play all the games I want. Too true. Too true. That's how it always goes, eh, Cooney? When you're young, you're like, man, when I'm an adult, I'll be able to play all the games I want. Then when you're an adult, you're like, I don't have time to play all the games I want. It is only on your deathbed where maybe you can finally play all the games that you want, right? It's so true, though. When all the servers are already out of service. You know, the funny thing is, though, and this actually really surprised me, I don't know when they'll actually take 14 out of service. Like, and I know that might sound weird, but they're still keeping 11 going, which really amazes me. And it's still getting content, is 11. Right? Like, that's crazy to me.
What are you looking for?
The enhancer, no. Betrayal. I should buy some of those. I should probably buy some Orchestrion scrolls. Buy a couple of these as well, actually.
A fine choice.
Do I have any things I can sell? Like any actual, like just sellables? I should have a couple. There we go.
Thank you.
Guild blood, black blood.
Just what I was looking for.
Gobby coin.
Thank
there you go. Solid. Skater says, I've been playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake at the moment. Ah, it's such a good one, Skater. It's so good. I love 7. I love 7. I love the original 7, and I love the remake for 7. I actually want to play through, what's it called? Final Fantasy VII Intergrade? I want to play through Intergrade. Because that has content in it that I've never actually played. Which means on the stream, I'm going to play through Final Fantasy VII again. Which will be probably the first time I've ever really replayed a game on stream that I already have recorded as, like, up on the YouTube channel, right? As the archive, right? But I gotta get ready for Rebirth.